Please sit down. You are welcome to our bi-weekly briefing on the Armed Forces of Nigeria operational efforts. The Armed Forces of Nigeria has sustained their operational engagements across the country against all criminal elements that have caused problems in all the geopolitical zones in the country. These operations yielded significant results, notwithstanding some negative effects and incidents of the past week. This is evident in the reduction of the spate of incidents recorded, massive surrendering of terrorists in the northeast, as well as reduction in the proscribed dependent people of Biafra activities in the southeast, and economic sabotage in the south and southwest zones of the country. Today's brief, therefore, we highlight some of our operational efforts that yielded significant results between 12 August and 2 September 2021. Now a look at Operation Hadinkai. Within the period under review, troops of Operation Hadinkai sustained their operations against terrorists in the Northeast Theater of Operations. The counterinsurgency efforts of the troops through kinetic and non-kinetic operations compelled the terrorists to surrender in large numbers. Suffice to note that within the last few weeks, more than 5,819 terrorists comprising of foot soldiers and their commanders have surrendered with their families to own troops in the northeast zone of the country. A total of 565 Boko Haram terrorists comprising of 3 commanders, 4 amirs, 5 nakibs, and 5 cattle rustling specialists of the surrendered Boko Haram terrorists and their family members were handed over to Borno State Government in Maiduguri for further management after thorough profiling. Meanwhile, on 14th August, own troops repelled terrorist attack in Borno State as well, with the support of the air component through air interdictions. They inflicted heavy casualties on the terrorists and their equipment. No fewer than 48 terrorists, 20 arrested, including fighters and commanders, were neutralized, and their logistic base and facilities, including 3 gun trucks, were destroyed in the process. Cumulatively, a total of 52 assorted arms, about 2,000 rounds of assorted ammunition, and AK-47 rifles were recovered. Others include hand grenades, commando mortars, locally fabricated rifles, Dushka anti-aircraft guns, Dane guns, among others. A total of 7 terrorist collaborators, informants, and logistics suppliers were arrested and handed over to appropriate prosecuting agencies for necessary action. Now a look at Operation Hadarin Daji. In Operation Hadarin Daji, own troops have sustained their operations against bandits, kidnappers, and other criminal elements in the Northwest geopolitical zone. Troops within the period arrested criminal informants, their collaborators, whose activities have been causing setbacks for own troops in the zone. Cumulatively, a total of 15 armed bandits and 2 armed robbers were neutralized, 13 bandit informants arrested, 15 motorcycles recovered, 2 AK-47 recovered, and 33 victims were rescued from the kidnappers. 66 other criminal elements were arrested, and some vandalized railway sleepers and tracks were recovered from them within the same period. The operations that led to significant results were carried out at Gidanzuma, under Kwatarkwashi district, and Bakinwa in Gusau local government area. Mutguzi and Gora, Namai villages in Maradun local government of Zamfara state. Others are along Gurubi Shimfida Road in Jibia local government area of Katsina state. Other locations where significant results were recorded include Magam village in Tangaza local government area of Sokoto state, Faskari town, and Basari Ruma general area, all in Basari local government area of Katsina state, as well as Jibia town in Jibia local government of Katsina state as well. Now a look at Operation Safe Haven. On 14 August 2021, security forces Operation Safe Haven arrested 20 persons involved in the attack and killing of 26 travelers at Rukubata in Jos North local government area of Plateau State. The arrested persons have been handed over to appropriate prosecuting agencies for further necessary action. In a related development, on 27th August 2021, troops conducted raid operations at Rikos, Jos North local government area of Plateau State. Also, in the course of the operations, troops arrested 4 suspected Sarasuka members. The suspects were profiled subsequently and handed over to relevant security agencies for prosecution. In the same vein, on 27th August as well, own troops arrested 3 criminals, namely Mujahid Isa, Kamal Isa, and Abrahamin Jibrin in connection with the attack on one Mr. Aliyu Mukhtar at the limit Jos in Jos North local government area of Plateau State. The suspects are undergoing interrogations and will be handed over to relevant security agencies for further action. In another development, on 27 August 2021, own troops in conjunction with Nigerian police and some vigilante group responded to a distress call on attempted kidnap of one Mr. Ayuba Opam at Rantia gas plant, Jos. Troops engaged the gunmen and neutralized one of the kidnappers. One AK-47 rifle was recovered during the encounter. Efforts are ongoing to apprehend the fleeing gunmen. Similarly, on 29 August, own troops on stop and search operation intercepted one Mr. Francis Achi on motorcycle with 3 unfinished locally fabricated revolver rifles concealed in a sack along Ganawuri Manchok Road in Irion local government area of Plateau State. The suspect is currently undergoing interrogations. Now a look at Operation Wild Stroke. Troops of Operation Wild Stroke on 13 August responded to distress calls of armed herdsmen activities at Udei and Uredu towns in Benue State, during which the troops repelled the armed bandits' attacks on the villages. Own troops destroyed 3 criminal camps and recovered 23 rusted cattle and 3 motorcycles. Similarly, on 14th August, troops of Fighting Patrol intercepted and arrested 9 cultists who had been terrorizing Utonkon community in Ado local government area of Benue State. Another development also on 15 August, troops on credible intelligence ambushed and arrested some railroad vandals at Seguma village and recovered some railroad tracks and sleepers, while the criminals were handed over to the appropriate prosecuting agencies for further action. Furthermore, on 16 August, troops carried out raid and clearance operations at criminal hideouts at Ter village in Sankera Uyum Council Ward and Ukpam community in Guma local government area of the state. Arrested 2 notorious armed robbers named Mr. Andosu Abba and Mr. Emmanuel Gobu, respectively. Now a look at Operation Delta Safe. Troops of Operation Delta Safe within the period in focus conducted a series of anti-illegal oil operations in their area of responsibility. These operations were conducted at Opoma and Umahu communities in Ohaji Egbema local government area of Imo State, Sand community in Akwa Ibom State, Madango Creek in Warri, Ndoro and Beniside communities in Burutu local government areas, as well as Yokri Egba, Seashore, all in Delta State. Other operations were executed at Iba Emoha, local government area, Iyala, Buguma, Cotton Channel Creeks, as well as Samkiri, Uruturu, Dema Abbey communities, all in Rivers State and Delta State respectively. During the operations, troops discovered and deactivated a total of 33 illegal refining sites with 46 illegal refining units, 94 boiler ovens, 9 reservoirs. Also, a cumulative total of 139 metal storage tanks and 63 dugout pits, all laden with 440 barrels and 1,637.5 liters of illegally refined petroleum products, and as well as 62 barrels and 572,000 liters of stolen crude oil and shelter stations were discovered accordingly. Other illegally refined products intercepted and immobilized were a wooden boat used for transportation of illegal oil products, 321 polythene bags laden with petroleum products, 16 drums and 15 jerry cans, all containing illegally refined petroleum products. Furthermore, within this period, own troops disconnected all illegal pipes connecting to Shell Petroleum Development Company pipelines around Okporowo right-of-way in Ahoada local government area and Edoha community, also in Ahoada local government area of Rivers State. In the same vein, troops discovered and immobilized a Cotonou boat laden with 2,000 liters of stolen crude oil. Furthermore, own troops carried out cordon and search operation around Bonny local government area, recruitment and empowerment center in search of mastermind of kidnap incidents at Abalama Bay community in Bonny local government area. During this operation, troops arrested a notorious kidnapper identified as Mr. Promise, aka Bumi, who had been on security forces watch list for a long time. Now a look at non-kinetic activities of the Chief of Defense Staff. In his continued consultations with military veterans of the armed forces of Nigeria and the various geopolitical zones of the country, the Chief of Defense Staff, General L.E.O. Irabo, affirmed that the armed forces of Nigeria remain at the forefront in tackling the myriad of security threats confronting the nation. He stated this while interacting with the retired senior military officers of the North Central Zone held on 18th August in Makurdi, Benue State. In the same vein, while in Yola, Adamawa State, in Northeast Geopolitical Zone on 24th August 2021, General Irabo hailed citizens and their support, allayed the fears on surrendered insurgents as he engaged senior retired officers in the security parley within the region. He expressed appreciation to the citizens and residents of the zone for their genuine support in the ongoing intensive clearance operations by troops of the Armed Forces of Nigeria toward the restoration of permanent peace in the Northeast Zone. He equally allayed the fears of general public on the ongoing mass surrender of Boko Haram and Islamic State of West African Province ex-fighters. In a related development, on 27 August 2021, the Chief of Defense Staff held a security interaction with retired senior military officers from the South-South geopolitical zone of the country in Asaba, Delta State. The Chief of Defense Staff maintained that the military remains at the forefront of leading the war against every form of criminalities as the concern of Nigeria avail the armed forces the mandate for supporting civil authority. He stressed that the retired senior officers are the best hands and most qualified to assist the fight against insecurity and champion of peace and security in the country. He urged them to join hands with the military to bring lasting peace to the country. During the same parley, he said the security challenges in the Niger Delta region needed a holistic approach and called on stakeholders to contribute their quota in this quest. Now, we look at Chief of Defense Staff visit to Plateau State yesterday, 1st of September 2021. In his quest to entrench a lasting peace in Plateau State, the Chief of Defense Staff, General L.E.O. Irabo, undertook a working visit to Jos, Plateau State on 4 September 2021. He held a stakeholders meeting in Jos, Plateau State with the governor, His Excellency Simon Lalong, and all the traditional rulers, religious leaders, and community leaders in the state at the government house, where discussions were held on the security challenges in Plateau State. The discussions were largely successful as all stakeholders pledged their support for peace and security in the state. Thereafter, the Chief of Defense Staff paid a visit to the palace of the traditional rulers of Jebu Miango community, where he met the traditional ruler of the community, Mbrangwe, Right Reverend Ronke Aka, and that of Anaguta community, His Royal Majesty, Pozo Johnson Jauromagaji, the Oja of Anaguta, where he commiserated with the traditional rulers and people of those communities on the recent unfortunate incidents in their domain. Finally, the visit was another success story in the Chief of Defense Staff non-kinetic initiatives in achieving peace and security in the country. And gentlemen of the press, I wish to state that the armed forces of Nigeria remain steadfast in the fight against all forms of criminality in different parts of the country. The Military High Command appreciates the continuous sacrifices of the troops in the field and various theaters of operation across the country. It salutes their courage, resilience, and commitment towards achieving sustainable peace in the country. We also appreciate the general public and the press for the continued support and further encourage them to avail the armed forces of Nigeria with credible and timely information that will facilitate our proactive engagement in all the theaters of the operation. Once again, I want to thank you for your attention, and the pictures will be made available to you people at the end of this statement. Thank you very much, and God bless.